Hello everyone and Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I am feeling so excited and grateful and a little overwhelmed about the energy as we move into 2025. And since this is my first few months, we're still in the very baby early stages of launching this vlog and getting everything off the ground, I realized that as I'm editing everything, I'm kind of falling behind time-wise. Like everything is chronological and there's so much stuff that happened over the holidays, like even from Thanksgiving when we were in Cabo. We're walking to the wedding. Stunning honeys.
Here we go. Here we go.
And then I had a couple football games. Wow, you look cutie. Fuck it up, brother. We got Tony coming up. Now we're in the back tunnel, hugging the dude. And I did a campaign for Levi's. And then I had my Women of the Niners event. This always blows my mind. Look at that. So we got these Manduka ones that actually match my outfit perfectly. And then we had Christmas. The moms are on the juice.
Pretending that we are.
All right, honey. What's your favorite moments in the holiday bar?
And every night here, and usually it's karaoke.
Anyway,
My favorite thing in here.
with your microphone, Claire.
Oh, my favorite thing in the holiday bar. I really like the Yeti Abominable Snowman man.
Wow.
He was one of my originals. Santa, Mary, the chalices are the best.
Yeah.
This is the makeshift redneck igloo. He
This
gets
thing?
those for volunteering.
Look at his ankle. What the?
When she was you, I guess we never really moved on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Ponce family Christmas tradition is that we play pickleball. So Cody's dad built a pickleball court in their cul-de-sac. He goes around and asks everybody if it's okay if he paints it. And this is what it looks like. Come on, Debbie. Oh, water. Hi, Bear. Worldwide pickleball expert. Let's go. Stay low. Stay low.
Excuse me, lady, no cameras on the
Oh no.
cameras on the floor.
What? Are you the ref?
Yeah, no cameras.
Oh, I'm so sorry. And there were so many really beautiful and wonderful things that happened, and I'm still going to share them, but I'm just feeling a little called to catch y'all up because this month is gonna go really fast. This month is gonna go really fast for our family, and there's some big and exciting things happening that I wanna take y'all along for. So I'll probably go back and do some filler vlogs with the holidays and Thanksgiving and Cabo and some really fun things that happened over the holidays. But right now I just want to catch y'all up because Cody and I are moving to Korea. We're moving to South Korea. Okay, so just had a interesting meeting with two coaches from South Korea. And I left with a bottle of wine and a Korean Ponce jersey. So we're going to Korea, South Korea. and we're taking Kai with us. And I'm gonna explain all the details. Cody and I are about to take Kai to the farmer's market for our first time, and we're very excited about that too. But I figured I'd let him kind of talk about Korea and that experience and kind of how it happened. But yeah, we're going to Korea, and in a few weeks we're going to Australia for spring ball. And Kai's not going to Australia, and within all of that, we're planning on starting a family and just taking on that journey. And so there's a lot of emotions that I'm feeling, so many emotions and so many really good emotions, but it just hits me in waves a lot of times. And I think that, yeah, just as I was editing, I was about to release our Cabo vlog, and I'm like, I need to catch up right now on what we're doing right now, because we're going to Australia very soon, and life is going to happen really, really soon. And for anybody in the baseball world, whether you're in MLB or you're playing international, I just want to give you a hug, because, oh my gosh, baseball off season is so short. It's just like such a tease. But for any of us who are planning to go overseas, just a deep breath and sending you so much love and compassion. Because packing up the house, planning to do with your animals, like, we don't have kids yet, but I can't even imagine what that's gonna be like. Well, I can't imagine, but I'm grateful that I have another year to kind of prep and be ready for that. But I just wanted to share some insight into how we're feeling, what's going on, wish everybody a happy new year, and just kick it off, right? Let's just kick it off. Let's be together, let's celebrate, and just be present in the moment. I've said this in every single episode, but my mantra for the year is to just step into the flow. And so to be really clear on how I have been resisting certain lessons or guidance or wisdom, or maybe just like a very blatant map, right now that I'm looking at it this way. Some things that I've been a little resistant of. How can I walk through the fear and just step into the flow? And there's some really fun and exciting things happening this year, and I'm taking y'all with me. So let's get into it. It's actually really cold here in Tennessee right now, and so we're gonna bundle up. I have a few chores, I gotta get ready, and then we're heading to the farmer's market. I'm walking out to the garden. We don't really have a compost pile, but I just don't like wasting stuff, so I'm just gonna make a little pile. Oh, completely missed. So I'll just make a little pile here and then cover it with leaves, and then the nutrients will just kind of get absorbed while we're away. So the thing is, our little dude likes to get in it. So today we're going to meet a couple friends at the farmer's market, and we're taking our favorite old red truck. Good morning. So we are driving in to meet some friends for the farmer's market, and I figured this would be a great time to, especially as we're dressed as like Eddie Bauer catalog. That was the vibe today. Even Kai got dressed up. Look at him go. Just Americana, for us to take a moment and just talk about Korea and the fact that we are going to live in South Korea next year. So I'm gonna mic my guy up. All right, Code. Why don't you tell us about what we're doing this year?
Well, this year, at the end of my contract with the Hanwha Eagles, I signed a contract to go play for the Hanwha Eagles in South Korea. So just another country over. I'm very excited that this opportunity came about, because our goal was to obviously be able to play back in the States, but when an opportunity like this presents itself, you kind of just have to take the bull by the horns in a sense, and kind of just ride the ride in which you're given. So this entire year we're going to be in Korea for 6 months, and well, 7 months pretty much. And then for the first month of spring training, we're actually going to Australia. So it'll be fun. We'll spend 3 weeks in Australia, then 2 weeks in Okinawa, and then we'll be in Korea for the rest of it. So, oh man, I forgot my watch. Anyways, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for the opportunity. I'm excited to go, travel the world and play the game that I love. So it's just another opportunity that I'm blessed to be a part of.
What's the other plot twist that's happening?
Oh, this puppy's coming with us. This little puppy's coming with us.
All right, and since they probably can't hear us very well, tell them what we're driving in right now.
Oh, this is my first truck. I have put long headers with the short exhaust. It goes right underneath the Innocence cockpit or bench seat that we're sitting on. I got this when I was 16. This was one of my mom and dad's first cars they ever owned together. From 16 to, 25, 11 years I drove this truck, on and off, depending on. I sold it to one of my buddies 3 years ago when I was living in Costa Mesa, right before Emma and I met. This off season, well, right before this off season hit, we were in Japan and Emma and I bought our Tennessee house, which we are in now. And I was like, you know what? I would always like to have, like a little farm truck that I can just drive around the properties and to and from easy places into the city instead of driving my big black one that I drive every day, which I love to death, don't get me wrong. But it was also like this sentiment thing that I always wanted to have and keep in my family. So I called my buddy up when we were in Japan, said, hey, listen, if you're ever wanting to sell a truck, like, please don't sell it to anybody else. Like, I'll buy it back from you. And he goes, well, actually, my brother doesn't drive it anymore. I'm pretty sure they'll sell it back to you. So I called them up and they sold it back to us. So now we have our little farm truck, which is also a great little putz around truck that we get to drive into the cities. But it's nice and loud, as you can hear, as everything's getting drowned out. When I was 16, I wanted a race car because I grew up racing when I was younger. So what I did was I put a long headers with a short exhaust and a muffler on it, and the short exhaust goes right underneath the bench seat that we're sitting in now, which is my favorite. Which also has this massive dip because I used to sit and drive like this all day long. And it's funny because now I look back and I'm like, no wonder my hips were so bad because I was sitting like this when I was growing up. But no, it's great to have this truck back, especially since it was my mom and dad's first car. And, my black truck's in the shop. So we drive this one every day now. And it's a little nostalgic, but there are some cracks and some dinks, as you can see here. She's 1992, so she's got some age on her, with 342,000 miles. And we'll probably get an LS swap here in the next year or two.
Yeah, what's your plan for it?
An LS swap.
I don't know what that is.
So for an LS swap, you're pretty much putting a Corvette motor underneath the hood, or you can do different other motors. You can do a 6.0, 6.2, 5.8 liter. And then new transmission, new rear end, and I'll probably just redo the interior as well, obviously because it needs it. And I just wanted to go for another 300,000 miles, almost 4.
And maybe pass it on to the next generation of Ponces.
Probably not, no. Those little stingy kids are gonna get their own little farm truck that they'll have to fix up and figure out, just like I had to. Check your oil every day, kids. Don't be afraid.
Lots to be said about Korea, and I think for me, like when we were wrapping up our contract in Japan, I think like we're both so close to our families. God, this makes me emotional even talking about, but we're so close to our families, and so I felt really afraid, to be honest, to do another country, to learn another language, to be in another culture, because as incredible as the opportunity and experience was in Japan, like especially for our relationship, like I feel like that experience solidified Cody and I's relationship, and we knew that we really wanted to be together and that we could be together and that we matched each other in that way. But like the thought of doing it all over again felt kind of exhausting. And I kind of talked about this in my very first vlog when I was sitting down by the river, and I was like, I just keep saying no to stuff. This is the other thing, but it wasn't public yet, so I didn't want to talk about it. And I just was like, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. And I just felt so strongly like we're going to sell our other properties. We're going to move back. We're going to double down. Like we're going to give Cody if we need to take a year. And then we got back to Nashville. And the craziness of the move and the stimulus of the city, and even the, the craziness that can be California sometimes, it just started to settle. And the noise started to settle, and the fear started to settle, and the love that we both have for each other and this life that we want to build and the vision that we have started to settle. And all of a sudden it went from this really scary thing of like, oh my God, no, we can't do that, to let's just really look at it. And when I tell you the universal affirmation that started to flood in once we opened ourselves up to it was incredible. Like Cody had some teammates, like some old teammates, some really good baseball friends reach out and like be so encouraging, where everybody else before had been kind of like, yeah man, don't do it, or like it's not the vibe. And like all of a sudden it was this like new wave of encouragement and belief and like people cheering us on. I had some of my friends calling me in and like hyping me up that like I hadn't even been talking about it or bringing it up, and all of a sudden I just had this like wave of people coming in and lifting me up and celebrating me. And the biggest thing was like my parents, because Cody and I really want to start a family, and that was a big reason why I was feeling afraid to be in another country and go through that journey without my mom like laying in bed next to me or like walking around or holding my hand, or like for Claire to be there, or my brother or my dad, and like or Cody's family. And so just that was like so scary for me, and it is still intimidating, but it just seemed like once we really let the fear settle and let the emotions come and kind of honor what they were, it didn't seem as scary anymore. And like, yes, we are giving up some family situations, but we just both believe that this is the right path for us and our family and like what we should be doing. And so we just feel very grounded and excited about that. And honestly, the other big thing that like one of the universal affirmation pieces, one was Kai, because I went in being like, leaving Dane for the last 2.5 years was awful. And like having to go back and forth between Cody and Dane, like my two main guys, was so painful. And then we lost Dane while we were there, and it was awful. And so I just like, we adopted Kai kind of with the energy of we're not gonna go again, and then we decided to go, and so, or we were deciding to go, and so I just I was like, I need him to come, like I want him to come. And the team was like, we got you. Yeah, yes, absolutely. And they were so excited about it. And I mean, I don't know if they were excited about it, but it just like wasn't a big deal. Whereas in the past, the thought of bringing Dane to another country was so overwhelming. And yes, Dane was older. But with this, it just seemed manageable, and it seemed really aligned for our family. We're stopping at a gas station. But it just seemed really aligned for our family, and that felt really good. Also, that I felt like the team was seeing us in a way and offering us some support that I didn't even really know that we could have. I guess I should say it that way. Is there, like, I started was watching Dad go into the convenience store. So the Kai thing was a really big deal, because as fun as exploring and adventuring is, like if your girl's pregnant and hanging out at the house alone, I want my dude here. I want my guy. I want to have a little companion, because the life of a baseball wife can be a little bit lonely. Okay, the other thing was Australia. Babe, get off of me. Quit it. The other big affirmation was Australia. And Cody and I, our first year in Japan, we weren't married yet, but we're dating and we were talking about getting married and la-da-la-da-da. And we were talking about how we either wanted to do Bali or Australia for our honeymoon. And then we realized that they are so far. It's like another 15-hour flight from Japan. And so instead of spending money on the flights, we decided to spend it on a fence for our house in California, which is like the most epic fence I've ever been. It was very, very cool. But we just kind of put our honeymoon on hold, and we're like, oh, Japan's kind of a honeymoon. And then the more that we were there, we're like, this is very much a work trip, and the little trips that we do take are fun, but it's not a honeymoon, and it's not, and not saying that Australia really will be, but because he's going to be working. But when they came in and said they're doing spring training in Australia, it just felt like another piece of affirmation from the universe. Like, all right, let's go. We got you. Don't be afraid. Just believe. We got you. And honestly, in that moment, like after they said yes to Kai, after they said yes to, they have firewood here, Cody. After they said yes to Kai, after they said yes to the more flights for us, after they, well, there's a dog outside. After the Australia, after they said yes to Kai, and then they gave us a few more flights for our family to make it easier for people to come out, it just felt like, the right thing to do was to say yes. And it was this big shift of fear to, let's fucking go. And I am incredibly grateful. Incredibly grateful for that. So yeah, there's definitely still a lot of emotions, and I think being in Nashville, and like tacking on a move in between moves internationally it was a lot, but we're in that stage of our life right now where we can do a lot. And I was talking to a mentor yesterday, and we were just talking about stepping into the flow and being flexible and dynamic and just getting on board with things. And she goes, look, like, here you are again. She's like, you didn't get what we were saying to step into the flow. And the universe literally planted a river in your backyard. And then now it's like a raging river right now because of all the rain that we've been having. And so she's like, just go out there and sit and listen and ask. And every time I'm out there, it just feels like we're in the right flow. And I feel really incredibly grateful for that. So, on a happier note, we are really happy about it, and we are really excited. And I'm going to be sharing a lot about what it's like to take a dog to South Korea, Kai in Korea. And then I'm going to be sharing a lot about our pregnancy journey, our fertility journey. We haven't quite started trying yet, but I'm not going to lie, this Oura ring has been helping a ton as we kind of prep for that. And I'm really excited to do all of the beauty and the food and the massages and the color tests and get my hair done. We're driving by a big tractor lot. Tractors. So it'll be great. So, yeah, baby. You go. So yeah, I guess if you have any questions about South Korea, I have a shit ton of questions, but thankfully we have a wonderful team that's kind of rallying around us, and we're getting the support that we need. So if you have any questions about Korea, join the club. We do too. We're still trying to figure it out. But I guess also, if you know anything about South Korea and you want to offer a little insight and wisdom, that'd be wonderful. Because your girl, your fluff, and your guy, we're in need. We're in need, and I think that's our big thing, is just asking for help when we need it. Where are we? What's this market called?
Richland Park Farmers Market. It's a Richland Park Farm.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. That's why you wore your hat.
Yeah.
I get it now. Getting potatoes and a bag of cauliflower. Look how stunning this is. Okay, we're back at the cabin, and I wanted to show y'all everything that we got from our farmer's market haul. So we actually did pretty well. I feel like farmer's markets can be a little pricey, but I do always feel better about shopping directly and giving money to the farmers and to the people who are there. And it's so fun to, like, everybody has a story and everybody shares their story. And another story that I want to share is I just got this jacket I thrifted it from this place in Leaper's Fork, and it's got like the craziest details. Don't do the jacket thing.
I can't keep my hands off you when you wear it.
Anyway, Merry Christmas to you, baby. Okay, so let's start off with the very first thing I got was a giant loaf of sourdough bread. It smells so amazing. Look at this. Then we got into some veggies. I got this purple kale. The guy said that it's very peppery, and I just love the color, but I like the peppery sense. It's a little bit spicy. I got this big old bag of cauliflower, and I love that they like pre-separated it, so it's really easy to use. Just one thing that I don't have to do. Then I got this giant box of shrooms. Brown chicka wow wow. Oh, I just dropped my lion's mane. Sorry, dude. Some delicious patatas. Yum. These were $4. This entire box was $4. 4, 4, 7. That was 10. I think that was 10. And then I got a bunch of bone broth. I have been drinking a lot of bone broth, and I've also been using it as the base for like a lot of the soups that I've been making. And especially as somebody, like I was vegetarian, vegan for a huge part of my life. And then I started, we got someone coming down the driveway. And then I started integrating meat back into my life, and the bone broths were a really wonderful way for me to reintegrate things in, like, because eating meat at first was really difficult for me. So the first one that I got, so this is from the broth shop, and it was great. We were talking to the guy, and he was saying that they really want to open up a broth cafe. So in the same way you can go and get tea or coffee like a coffee shop, you can go to a broth shop and you can get a cup of broth. So we'll see. This one is the miso sesame shiitake chicken broth. The guy said this one's very drinkable, and it was buy one, get one half off. And then this one is the savory turmeric beef broth. And so I wanted something frozen since we're about to leave for the holidays. And then I got this whipped cranberry feta from them also. So I'm very excited about all of those. Then I got some gifts for our neighbors, and these are, it's Bay's butters, and so they do peanut butters, nut butters, they do honey butters, different whipped butters, but I went with the pecan maple, and the girl was talking about how wonderful it is if you pair it with these jellies. Honey child jellies. And she said if you this combo with like, it's smoked peaches and pecan maple, and we are a big PB&J family. So I got, it was 3 for $20. So I got 2 of the smoked peaches because we're gonna give one of those away, and then the other one I got was spiced apple. Seemed very festive and warming. And then we got 6 pounds of ground bison, also frozen, but they had a big bison skull there, and the guy said that if you buy $300 worth of bison, that they would give you a skull, which obviously Cody and I want one. So it was a really good experience. Kai trained a lot. Cody, how did Kai's training go?
It went great.
He says it went great. There was a lot of other dogs and a lot of stimulation. We just realized because we live on the farm that Kai is not around a lot of interaction, and in Korea that's going to be a very different situation, and so we just need to really start socializing him every day pretty much. And so anytime I go anywhere, I try to take him with me, whether it's just in the car, and then we kind of like get out and do a little walk around the building whenever I'm running errands, and then taking him there was a really big step too. Cody's cleaning a little bit, but I wanted to show you this drink that I have been loving lately. Y'all don't have one of these teapots yet? Cody is the coffee connoisseur in our family. I kind of go back and forth between tea. I've talked about having wheat coffee before on this. But first we're just taking Earl Grey, or if you like a black breakfast tea. I'm trying to, I don't drink a ton of coffee, but I'm trying to just take it easy on the old caffeine. But I've gone like 3 days without having any, and it's, the headache is real. So I'm gonna have a little tea. Keep weaning myself off. So, let that have its little moment. And then this is the Element. It's the chocolate salt. And I think it's really good mixed in with some tea and hot water. And of course the Kelowna's heavy whipping cream and a little bit of collagen. So I'm showing you, this is kind of our little go-to. I can get a scoop with this one. I do like how they've switched to the all cardboard plastic. So I do 4 little scoops. Shake that bad boy down. Hi, Kai. You coming over to see what Mom opened? So it is pretty salty, but I like it. I mean, I just think the sea salt is really good with chocolate.
That would be our sink.
That's our sink. When I was at the farmer's market, the guys selling us the beef broth just kept talking about, one of my friends was wearing a rich, what did it say? It said rich wife?
Something like that. Yeah.
Rich something on her hat. And the collagen guy was like, rich, they were saying rich wife, and she was like, it's a women-owned brand. And then she was saying, I like to think of it as rich in life. And then we started joking about rich in collagen because we all just bought like so much collagen. So we're like, we're very rich in collagen. And the whole time I was thinking about coming home and making this drink. So this is what she looks like. And my little Tennessee cup, isn't that cutie? Tennessee, a little bit of Iowa. Yeah. If I had whipped cream, I would put whipped cream on it. It'd be so good. Okay, let's have a little sipper. Probably use this a little bit longer for the black tea to steep, but I'm gonna tell you, it's saltier than you think. It is always saltier than I think, but it's like a salt up front and then chocolate on the back end. But it's really good, and it's really good for helping you get your electrolytes. Yeah, come try it, babe.
It's a nice salty. Not like over salty, but it's still.
I feel like it's nice because you know it's the electrolytes. You know you're getting some goodness.
Yeah.
Husband approved. So she's husband approved and helping me warm up from the farmer's market because it was so cool. Heading back outside to burn some stuff with the neighbors. Check this guy out. My chariot awaits.
Your chariot awaits, my queen. Get your ass in here.
We're driving over to our neighbors for a little weekend party.